Hey, beautiful souls. Welcome to my new segment called Bed Talk, where I talk to you from a bed. Yeah. Yes, bitch. Woo, woo. Because I don't have my camera and don't really feel like setting up lighting and stuff. So we're just going to do flash while my phone's on 10% because I have some thoughts. And today I wanted to talk about feeling pretty, feeling ugly, fucking loving your body, all of that stuff. I think that's what the name is going to be, like feeling pretty, feeling ugly, fucking loving your body and all that stuff. So today I did a demo, an animal activist demo with PETA, and I'm in Mexico City right now, hence why this is not my room. See? Today, though, I got to live my wildest dreams of being naked and fighting for animals at the same time, which I love. But what's so interesting is that this is me entering this new realm of like body positivity, and I see it. So first things first, I volunteered to wear a thong. I could not find pasties to match the color of my skin, which is like highly, highly racially charged. So if you are a pasty company, like, what are you doing? Where's the versatility? But I wore like a flesh tone thong, and it was like so sheer. So like I felt like you could see like my vaginal lips through the thong. But I've always just felt like, especially when it comes to like nipples, free the fucking nipple. Like, it's 2024. Why are we still hiding our nipples? As people with vulvas, it's just simply not fair. How it like, and no one's outraged about it. Anyways, or people are not outraged enough for me. But so it felt good to be able to like free my nipple. So now we're gonna kind of backtrack a little bit to what led me to this point of being comfortable enough to stand on the street and like fight for veganism while being in a thong and pasties. But I want to just give a background to where I was self-esteem wise, like last week. No, like maybe like last month. So my last relationship, as you know, was very unhealthy, very abusive. If you listen to the podcast, you've heard the story before. Skip 3 seconds or else just listen. But my ex literally would tell me that I was ugly, that no one would want me. And if you've heard this story before, it's probably because I was super scarred. Like I share this a lot. And I'm excited to like step out of the story, you know? And I think that moments like today are helpful. But yeah, he used to tell me I was ugly, no one would want me, no one would ever love me, all this stuff. And you know, after a while, when you hear that but so much, it starts really taking a toll on you. It took a toll on me the first time. And then even like just back in childhood, like I don't necessarily feel like I was always the most affirmed. And I've talked with my dad about this on my podcast. He's taken a lot of accountability. He's apologized a lot. And he's been just showing up as so much of the dad that I've always wanted. So I'm really grateful for that. But when it comes to situations with my ex, because there was none of that, there's no closure. There's no closure to be had. There's no closure to be obtained because it just was what it was. I don't desire any conversations, any apologies. My ex apologized to me so much during my last relationship. He was a pathological liar, so it just never really mattered. But up until I want to say like last month, I had been having some really hard time like seeing my beauty. And it comes and goes, right? Some weeks I feel gorgeous. I'm like, what was he ever talking about? Like, I'm the most beautiful woman in the world. Some weeks I'm like, what? I think I hold this really irresponsible or maybe unfair judgment on myself because I own a hair and a skincare company. So I feel like, okay, I cut off my hair, so I'm not necessarily able to represent like, oh, let me show you that my hair products really work for hair growth. But I replaced that thought in my head by saying, okay, my hair products help with hair health and hair maintenance, which is why my hair always grows back so beautifully. And for my skincare, I'm like, oh, well, you know, like I have this hyperpigmentation right here from this last hormonal breakout I had last week. just being hard on myself about that when that's literally human stuff. My brand is not supposed to make people perfect. My brand is supposed to heal. And so the thing that's stopping me from healing right now is myself. So I've had some encounters as of lately with some beautiful people, beautiful friendships, beautiful experiences, and I feel like they've really unlocked a certain part of me right now. I've talked before about my only child and how I had a really beautiful conversation with my dad. I want to say maybe 3 months ago, and I literally felt like I was speaking for my only child. Like, I think I even asked him, do you mind if my only child speaks to you for a second? And it was a really, really healing conversation. And then it seems like the healing just keeps happening. And in my friendships, I feel like I'm showing up as my younger self. And in love, I feel like my younger self is so happy with what's happening and with the people I have met. And you know, it's just I just see, like, I see, I feel it, I feel her, I see her, I love her, and I'm happy to honor her. So I think today was really big for me with being naked on the street, because one, I was super in my head at one point. I was like, oh, you could see like my vagina lips, and I felt like it was the titties were so sheer. I can't help that I have a heavy flow and a wide set fucking vagina. Like, I think that my vagina is gorgeous. And the point of the mission, or the point of the demo, was not literally about my body. The point was about bodies and how animals and humans have literally the same body parts. And if you don't want to eat a human's body parts and you think that that's inhumane, the same goes for animals. But I think for me, the biggest part was feeling so safe, right? I've shared that I was sexually assaulted in 2022, which is one of the things that really did help, like, solidify the celibacy that I had going on. And I realized that being on the street naked, I guess I didn't realize how triggering it could be, but it wasn't. It wasn't. It wasn't. No one tried to touch me. No one tried to violate me. And I remember when I had gotten assaulted and someone asked me, like, well, did you have on anything under your dress? And I think that for a while, like, I don't want to say that I blamed myself. There were several assaults that happened, so I'm just referring to one of them in 2022. But I think I just blamed myself a lot for the situation. I'll talk about this more on my podcast, because that's, like, really my safe space. But I say all that to say, this is like an intro to that. I felt safe, and I felt like I could protect myself if something did happen. But the vibe was great. Like, one thing I will say is that I have not had predatory instances when being in Mexico. The only time that I have had a predatory instance was with an American person. So take that as you may. But I felt so beautiful and so liberated and so strong. And I think what led me to that is following creators like Bailey, Bay Free. I had Bailey on my podcast a couple of episodes ago. Bailey is amazing, but Bailey posts a lot about body positivity, about pubic hair, about loving your body as is, about not trying to fit social norms. And so I really remember, I heard Bailey's voice in my head when maybe I didn't shave as far down as I wanted to, because I didn't want to, like, break my coochie, or maybe I didn't, maybe you could see a little hair, or maybe you could see, like I said, my lips, or maybe my nipple covers weren't all that, like, pasty, like, you know, maybe they looked straight up like Band-Aids with makeup on it, and that's okay. With all that going on, I still felt so liberated. I actually feel like I felt more liberated in that way than I would have if I had a bathing suit on walking down the street, which is, I know, like, crazy, because I wear a bathing suit on the beach all the time. But, like, it was just something about loving myself as is and not trying to feel like I had to be like everyone else, or like perfect like society says that I need to be, because I am perfect. I'm perfect with each little stray pubic hair that swung out of that thong. I'm perfect with the little lump of Band-Aid that was on my nipple. I love how my breasts are two different colors, and they're like kind of light in the middle, and then they get browner and browner because the sun doesn't really see that part of my body a lot. And yeah, I think that it's kind of been a subconscious journey. It's been slow steps, you know. I mentioned this in an Instagram video, but I want to like stop apologizing when I have like pubes, you know what I'm saying? Or like if I'm in bed with somebody and I'm like, oh, I didn't shave. And Like, because I know when I had a lesbian lover, like, I loved it marinated with hair and sweat. So, yeah, I just feel like I'm really stepping into the zone of, like, loving myself unconditionally. I think I just had a video the other day. I think it was on YouTube, and I was talking about loving myself. And I was like, I don't really think that I love myself as much as I would like to right now in this moment. And I feel like ever since I had that epiphany, I've been doing things to really try to help myself with that. So thank you for joining me on this journey. If I had any tips for anybody that was struggling with this, I would say first things first is write down some of the things that you're struggling with. Because one thing that I know that I do a lot, and I need to do this tonight, is I keep things in my head. I keep things in my noggin, and then it just stays up there and it keeps reverberating. So if I can get it out on paper, that's helpful. So write down some of the things you're struggling loving yourself with. I saw a TikTok where a person said they were gentle parenting themselves. I think that that's really amazing, like changing the narrative of the way that you speak to yourself. So certain things that I would beat up on myself about, like, oh, I have this hormonal bump right here. I love it. It looks like a little I don't want to say the wrong thing, but I feel like I know what they're called. Like a bindi. I think that's the right thing to say. Please, God. If it's not, I really apologize. Please educate me. But yeah, like it's like my third eye, or, you know, just it's the universe showing me that I'm human. I think when it comes to your body, like I'm back to being skinny again, and I was gaining weight and was getting thick and was feeling real confident about myself. But now I'm loving myself in all forms. What I do want to feel is more healthy. I would like to feel more healthy. I would like to not see my ribs, just for the sake of, like, nurturing myself. But out of, like, appearance, I love my body. I love my ass, even though it might not be the fattest that it's ever been. I love it. I love how small my breasts are. But if you have big breasts, those are beautiful too. I love my vagina. I really am falling in love with, like, how it looks. And my vulva, like the lips, like if anybody ever gets to see these lips, hear them for a show because they're amazing. But yeah, and then I think that maybe when you write down the things that you're struggling with, we can write down some of the things that we can do to curb those struggles, right? Or work through ourselves, or give ourselves a mantra. So for instance, say something I'm struggling with is, let's just use my ass. My ass is smaller than it normally is. My beautiful, round, voluptuous behind is smaller than it normally is. My mantra is, I love my body in all forms. The thing that I'm going to help me with my behind as a whole is just creating a more nutritious diet for myself. Eating more than once a day would definitely be helpful. That's not fair to myself. And yeah, just being more conscious about what I eat, how I eat, and when I eat. Even just making more smoothies, stuff like that. Like, even if I don't want to eat a full meal, you know, just nurturing myself. Something else I'm struggling with. Stress, breakouts, like, straight up. Although I will say that my skin is getting really, really healthy. Really, really healthy. I've really been doing really well with my skincare routine. There's still those hormonal breakouts. So instead of beating up on myself and saying, oh, like, you didn't do this, that, and the third, I'm going to say, I'm so proud of myself for being so inspired to use my products, my hair and skincare products that are handmade by me, and pouring that love that I poured into those products back into myself when I use them. And my mantra is, I am literally gorgeous, period. That's it. Because I was definitely comparing myself to somebody earlier, and I was like, I wish I had, like I forgot what, I know what it was, but I'm not even going to repeat it. And I'm gorgeous. Like, I'm gorgeous. You're gorgeous. We're literally all gorgeous, and that's amazing. That's crazy. I think those are all of my thoughts for the day. I hope that this helps somebody out there. Yeah, what should I name this video? Like, how I'm learning to love myself? That hits. I love you. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, be kind to yourself, be kind to others. Since this is done on my phone, I don't know if I'm going to have all those, like, I might have my intro, but I don't know if I'm going to have all the words and stuff around here, so bear with me. But thank you. I love this. Bed Chronicles. I can't wait to get a bed in my home so I can make these. Love you. Mwah.